Hello everyone, it's Rama here, and I am here with you today to present a very special City of Casey presentation, a DIY Halloween costume tutorial. Today we'll be making 3 DIY costumes that you can wear for Halloween, and I've tried to create some costumes for you today that you can make pretty much with things that you have at home. There might be some costumes that suit what's in your house better, and there might be the occasional item that you might need to buy from a supermarket or something like that. But we're going to keep it as simple as possible, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so the first costume we are going to make today is a creepy crawly spider. And it gives the illusion that you have probably twice as many limbs as you should probably have. It's very spooky, and there are a few different variations, a few different ways that you can make it your own. Because, as I like to say, I think a costume is so much more special when you make it yourself. So I will show you what we need to make our spider costume today. First, you're going to need an old black long sleeve shirt, and this is going to be the base of our costume. We're also going to need 2 sets of black tights, old black tights. Preferably ones that are quite dark or opaque, like these ones here. And so we'll need 2 pairs of those to get 4 legs out of. We'll also need a stapler and some scissors, some black wool or some string, something sturdy that we can use to hang the legs from your arms. And we're also going to need something to stuff into the spider legs. So it's really good if you can reuse things around your house. Remember that you can take them out again and use them again. So it doesn't have to be anything that you have to throw away. In fact, it's probably better that we stuff the spider legs with things that you don't throw away. It's nice as well to make things that aren't just going to go into the garbage after Halloween, yeah? So what I've got here is I've got a few things I'm going to use just from around my house. I've got some scarves. I've also got some old tissue paper. I've also got some butcher's paper that was in my craft box and some bubble wrap. So the first thing we need to do is we need to cut our spider legs out from our old black stockings. Now I'm going to use some scissors, and I recommend if you're under 10, maybe get one of your parents or a guardian to just help you with this one, because it's a little bit tricky. Okay, and when you're done chopping the legs off of your tights, you will have a long sock, a very long sock, just like this one. And you can see if I put my arm through it, it already looks a bit like a spider leg, doesn't it? Scary, spooky. Ooh. What do you do when you see a spider in your house? Anyway, so now we've got one leg here, and what we're going to do is we are going to stuff our leg with our stuffing material, whatever we've put together to stuff our spider's legs. And what we'll end up with, a spider's leg, just like this one. So you're going to do that 4 times. So until you have 4 spider's legs ready to go. Wonderful. So when you're finished stuffing each of your spider's legs, it's time to start connecting them to our shirt. So as I said before, you'll need a long sleeve shirt. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be stapling, that's right, stapling the legs to the side of the shirt. You can also sew them to the side of the shirt, but this is a really quick and easy way to do it. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to staple it just behind towards the back. So if that's the seam of your shirt, we're going to be stapling it just kind of slightly back so that it's a little bit less obvious from the front. In preparation of securing our spidey legs to the side of the shirt, I'm just going to staple. So I've just laid it down safely and I've just stapled along the top just to close in all the stuffing in there. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to just line it up along the side there. I'm going to staple it to the side of our shirt. That is our first leggy stapled to the side of our shirt. So you go ahead and do the other three, and I'm going to put mine, just show you there. So mine's coming off the side there. I'm going to do one more here, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. You can see how my shirt now has 4 spidey legs attached. Now you might ask, we've got 2 arms and 4 legs here, but that's only 6 legs. That's because you also have legs. Now what we're going to do is we're going to connect them so when you open your arms up, your legs, your spider legs are going to follow your arms. It's going to be pretty cool. Okay, so next we are going to conjoin our spidey legs, and it's going to create a really cool effect. What we need to begin with are going to be 2 pieces of black string or black wool or whatever you're using to tie your legs together. And I've just cut mine to about a meter in length. And what we're going to do with these is we are going to tie our legs together. So on one side, I'm going to have a look at this leg, and I think we're going to go about 3/4 of the way, because when you look how long your arm is, it's slightly longer than my arm. So we're going to go about 3/4. I'm going to tie the end of this string about 3/4 down, and I'm going to do the same with the one below it. So we've got 2 here. See, we've just connected them. And now what we're going to do is I recommend getting a couple of hair ties, and these are going to go around your wrists. And we're going to tie the wool to the hair tie. So I've got a couple of hair ties here, a couple of old hair ties, and I'm going to tie the end of my string to one of our hair ties. Really simple, just put it through, do a nice little tie. You can also try it on and see what the sizes are and how you want your legs to hang. So now what we've got is we've got our 2 little legs, and we've got our hair tie, and that's going to go around our wrist just like that. You're starting to see how this is going to come together? Pretty cool. Okay, so that's one side. I'm going to do the other side. And when both sides are done, it's time to try on our Spidey costume. And once you've put it on, you've got your very own DIY spider. Oh my goodness, are you terrified? I think I scared myself. Well, I hope you're ready for our next DIY costume creation. I hope you're not scared of ghosts. Ooh. Ghosts are a classic Halloween costume, but we're going to just put a little bit of a spin on it today. To make Rama's Halloween ghost, you will need a white or cream coloured sheet. Whatever you've got around the house is perfect. Some scissors, some needle and thread, black pantyhose, And these ones were the ones that I cut our spider legs from earlier. So you get to use some more of it without just throwing it all away. And also, I've got some crayons here, and they're going to help me mark out where we're going to cut on the sheet. So first what you need to do is you need to find where halfway in the sheet is. So if you fold it in half, you'll be able to see whereabouts your head is going to be. Here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to draw my face here. And I think what we're going to have, as well as my eyes, as well as the holes for my eyes, I'm also going to sketch out an evil grin. And that's going to make our ghost costume extra special. Rightio. So I've sketched out a scary ghost face on my sheet. I'll show you. Just use a simple crayon, but as you can see here, I made 2 holes for my eyes. Ooh, and a very scary, spooky mouth. Ooh. So next what we need to do is cut out these shapes. So round about now, I hope you've cut out your shape. Yours might look a little bit like mine. It might look a little bit different. You can make it your own. You can draw whatever you like. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this tight material and I'm going to sew it on the inside here. You could just sew this straight onto that big ghostly smile there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this inside out and I'm going to place the black fabric over the mouth section. I'm going to pin around it so it doesn't move, and I'm just going to hand stitch it just enough so it's attached to the inside. And what that's going to do is when we turn it the right way around again, we're going to have a wonderful black spooky mouth. All right, are you ready for our final DIY Halloween costume? So what we're going to be making, finally, is a jetpack. How do you make a jetpack from things around your house, you ask? Well, Tara Rama shall show you. What we need to make our own Halloween jetpack: a couple of soda bottles, some light rope or some long shoelaces, anything that's safe to put your arms through, like a backpack. We also need something to create the fire coming out of our jetpack, the jet propulsion. And I found a couple of things in my craft box, and there's some party decorations, and I thought that kind of looks like some fire coming out of the bottom of a jetpack. I also have a couple of other things I could use if I wanted to. I've got some red cellophane, I've got some orange cardboard. So you think about what fire looks like to you and have a look around the house and see if there's anything that you can use to recreate the look of fire. Ooh. We're also going to need some tape. And if you like, we're going to decorate our jetpack with some acrylic paint. So some people have craft paint sitting around the house. You don't have to paint it if you don't have any paint, but these are just options you can choose. So I got a little bit of acrylic white paint here and just a little bit of black too. And that's going to help us create a nice grey colour. I'm going to shake some silver glitter on them as well to make them really pop. I'm very excited. Right, so what we're going to do first is we are going to try to stick our 2 canisters together. And that's our first step. We've got our jetpack canisters here, and I think they're going to go that way. So when they're sitting on our back, that's going to be the top of our jetpack, and that's going to be where the fire comes out. Just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape these together. So I've used some quite thick tape today. It's kind of like a packing tape. And I'm just going to lay them down next to each other, just like that, and tape them together, just like that. I'm going to do the same to the other side. Now our jetpack pieces aren't going anywhere. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint our jetpack. So as I said, you don't have to do this, but if you're using clear bottles, you might want to colour them in somehow. You might want to stick some coloured paper on them, maybe some wrapping paper, anything you can find. You can personalise it however you want to. You could put stickers on it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint these a kind of soft grey colour, and then I'm going to sprinkle some glitter all over them so they're sparkly metal canisters. I'll be back with you soon. So as you can see, I've painted and glitterified my soda bottles, and you can see they start to look like something that could definitely blast off and send you flying into the air. But they don't have any firepower yet. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use these little fun little red star party hanger thingies that I found, and these happen to have just a little bit of plastic in the end. So I'm going to actually just pop that little bit of plastic in the top top of the bottle here. So I'm going to take the cap off and do that. If you wanted to, you could definitely just use some double-sided tape or some hot glue if your parent or guardian is there to supervise you, to stick on some scrunched up paper, some cellophane, so you can create whatever kind of fire you like that's coming out of your jetpack. You could very easily lay some cellophane over the top of the bottle and put the lid back on, and you wouldn't have to use any glue or anything like that or any tape, and you could just use the bottle cap to hold the cellophane in place, and then when it goes upside down it would fall down under the bottle like fire. You can see that there's fire coming out. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to make some straps for our jetpack, kind of like a backpack that you'd wear to school. So we're going to use some nylon rope. So we're going to connect these very simply. We're going to be tying them together. We're going to need 3 pieces of rope. So the first one needs to be just short of probably about a length and a half of your arm. So that's probably, I should say that's probably 2 lengths of my arm. So 1 and 2. That's probably about right. I'm going to cut 2 lengths of 2 lengths of my arm. So that's 4 arms. Okay, so then that's 2 lengths together. So I'm going to then find the midpoint of these. I'm going to chop that one in half too. So you need a little bit of length, but also I'm an adult, so I'm going to need a little bit more length than you. So what we're going to do here is we're going to find a 3rd piece to put around the middle of our jetpack as a bit of an anchor. So it doesn't need to be quite as long as the others, but it needs to be able to go around the middle and tie. Is I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue in the middle there, just in between, in the middle of the knot, and that's going to hopefully hold that knot in place. You don't have to do this. You might have more of a string or a different kind of rope that's less slippery. So just try and work best with whatever materials you have on hand. So what I've actually done is I've finished piecing together our pieces of rope and securing the knots. And I'll show you what the end product looks like. So at the moment, it looks like a whole higgledy-piggledy of rope, but what we've got here is we've got our anchor rope that's sitting across the middle. I've just tied that and put a little bit of glue in the middle there to keep those together. And I've also just connected our 2 ropes that were going to be our shoulder straps. So all I've done is just pop the rope through here, the shoulder straps, one through there, and brought that through and around, tied that at the end and secured that with glue. And I've done that with both of them here. So you can see they're both just sitting underneath that rope there. And what I've done is I've tied them in knots at the end, and I've just secured them with a little bit of glue in the middle. Let's see what this looks like on. hope you had lots of fun with these DIY costumes today. Let us know in the comments what you made. Show us some photos of your DIY Halloween costume creations. And let us know what you thought of these. Have a wonderful Halloween, and I hope to see you in the next couple of days for the City of Casey virtual Halloween event. Ooh. Stay tuned.